So we have this Cancer new moon that's happening right now, and this sunset that's happening, and we're going to call in the Great Mother, the Great Mama Bear, to support our transformation as we are on this Cancer new moon, being guided to release grievance, to release pain, emotional pain that we may be taking on behalf of others, behalf of our lineage, behalf of our ancestors, generations before us and generations that are now. So we're going to release the emotional pain. We're going to use our voice to chant that sort of disempowerment, the discouragement we are holding in our emotional body, and to transform it into artistry, poetry, song, dance, things that make us feel like we belong, like when we're dancing or singing or chanting, or when we're with our friends, when we're planting, gardening, playing our guitar, playing the piano, we feel the sense of belonging. So we're going to clear out this feelings that we don't belong, because that may come up where we feel like we don't belong, we feel disconnected from our own emotions, or we feel this distance from our family, right? Maybe we feel family absence, maybe we feel unloved, unwanted. So we'll clear all that out. So as I do the rattle, I want you to focus on I belong. So just say that out loud, I belong. I belong. I belong. I belong. I am worthy to belong. I am worthy to belong. I am worthy to belong. I belong. I belong. I belong. I am worthy to belong. I am worthy to belong. I am worthy to belong. I belong. I belong. I belong. I am worthy to belong. I am worthy to belong. I am worthy to belong. I belong. I belong. I belong. I am worthy to belong. I am worthy to belong. I am worthy to belong. I belong. I belong. I belong. I am worthy to belong. I am worthy to belong. I am worthy to belong. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to do chant. So just mimic what I do. just take that in. Feel it moving through you. Feel alive. Feel wonderful. Bless yourself. Bring in this blessing. Bring the magic from the earth and bring it over you. Let it fall over you like you're a child playing in the waters, playing in a puddle, and you're splashing yourself. Splash this magic, these lovely frequencies, these lovely vibrations around you. Really sweep the hands around you, bringing those holy waters and sweeping it around your aura, feeling loved, feeling welcomed, feeling belonging, that you belong, feeling cared for by Mother Earth, feeling the mama bear of Mother Earth taking care of you, fighting for you, protecting you, helping you to be strong, helping you to be mighty, helping you to overcome the challenges of life. And then hold your hands up here, feel your aura, feel your arc line. Inhale, press the tongue on the roof of the mouth, squeeze up, sex organ, rectum, navel, squeeze belly button to spine. Exhale, open it up, open the arc line, all the wisdom, and bring it into the whole aura, all the way to what is below you, what is above you, and what is center, right in your heart, right in your soul, your true masterpiece. Your true victory and success lies in the frequency of your heart, the transmission of your heart, your ability to embody the heart, to share your poetry, to share your philosophy, to move close into the fulfillment, the true contentment, the true ecstatic dance that lies within the breath, the spirit of your heart, and its great connection to this earth and the consciousness that is pure magic, pure magic. So you can use this magic to create a shield of protection to help you overcome challenges, to help you reach your victory, to help you be strong, to give you resilience, to give you an endless reserve of energy, to connect you to a divine source, a divine pool of holy water, so you can bless yourself, so you can clear the traumas, the pains, the grief of the past, and so that you can be able to have your tears, have your upset, have your frustrations, but to never get to the point of self-destruction, to always be able to mediate, to always be able to self-soothe, even the worst enemy in you, even the worst enemies around you, that is you. You know how to self-soothe, you know how to calm it down, relax, to rest, to receive, and to allow Mama Bear to take care of you, allow Spirit Bear to be there for you. And when you feel that you're alone or abandoned or out of touch, or you're feeling any type of way that is discouraging or belittling or self-sabotaging or self-destructive, you can call upon the Mama Bear, fierce sort of protection and fierce comfort and nurture and care and respect, to come forward and to help you gain the spirit of Mama Bear, to be able to move forward, to trust yourself, and to build up the discernment, the boundaries, the ability to say no to what is draining of your energy, what is wasting of your time, right? And to say yes to opportunities that actually bring light and joy and clarity into your life, and bring you a chance to really ascend into higher levels of talent and artistry and creativity and venture, right? And to have that sort of reserve energy, have that magic, the magic of prosperity, the magic of the land, the magic of your ancestors, the magic of good karma and blessings, that we spend so much time clearing out the karma, clearing out the life, so that we can bring in this pure blessing, this pure magic, so that wherever we are, whatever we're doing, there's this pure magic to what we're doing. So we're always at the right time, always at the right place, always in divine timing, always wherever we go, we're creating a sacred portal, a sacred space, regardless of what house we're in, what neighborhood, we're creating a sacred space, and we're going towards what has sacred space. So we're smelling in the air, and we're smelling the ethereal scent from places around this planet, and we're going to magnetic places that have an ethereal vortex that matches the ethereal essence of what we are trying to embody and what we are trying to integrate and to download within this vessel, because there are many sacred sites, but a lot of people don't know how to use them. They don't know how to cultivate the land, the magic of the land. People, just kind of wandering around from place to place, but don't actually connect to the magic and really bless themselves with it. And when you do that, you're connecting your ethereal energy to ethereal energy of this planet, of high vortexes, high portals, because there are a lot of high portals that were created by women, by men, who came into sacred ceremony, who came into a sacred union with each other, with their tribe, and created powerful magic places of artistry and culture and music. And you can even still hear the music now echoing from these places, these high vortexes of beings, even beings that are not physical, right? ET beings that actually were vibrating at a very high frequency through their instrument, through their voice, through their channeling, through their ceremonies, through many generations, and going into these places, like going into a portal, into higher energy. And in order to make quantum leap, to expedite your growth, you need higher energy. You need ceremonious energy. You need sacred energy. You need holy energy. You need good karma, good blessing. You need to be able to raise your vibration, to think highly of yourself, because all that self-destruction, all that wasteland that we think we're worthy of, but it really just drains us, and we're tossing and turning and going nowhere. All of that is just kind of festering and with us to kind of test us. But you have to test it by showing up more, participating more, saying no, right? Singing more, chanting more, dancing more, jumping more, springing more, spending more time in nature, doing more painting, listening to the bell, listening to the rattle, spend more time relaxing, listening to meditation music. And all of that, you're going to override the system. You're going to override the system, and you're going to sweat out whatever that sort of low vibrational underworld or low vibrational evil or hate or whatever that is, the riots, the chaos, and protesting that is of just looting and this kind of aggression, right? Anger, right? We want to transcend. We want to actually create an environment of structure, of a new structure, not trying to completely diminish structure altogether. We want new structure, right? So we're taking down structure because we want new structure. And new structure doesn't happen in taking down buildings, breaking down windows, breaking cars, burning buildings. It comes through social structure. If you're going to change structure to a corporation, to a company, to a government, it happens with social structure, right? It happens with young generations. It happens with you. It happens with you being an elder to younger generations. Regardless if you're 25, 55, 15, you can be an elder to younger generations. It's, the real social structure creates new structure within government or within corporation or within a social economic type of standard and status in relationship. So the social structure has everything to do with an elder system, has to do with generations teaching other generations, not generations being mute and just escaping and just living in anger and self-destruction. It's about an elder system that is a part of a lineage, a part of wisdom, of tribes, of lineages all across this planet that were originally tribal based, that have evolved into very a state of a lineage, right? An arc of many generations of wise choice, right? A library of that, and really creating that within generations of you, within interactions you have with older generations, younger generations. You want to spread the wisdom, right? And the wisdom can be simple as how to wisdom can be simply about knowing how to grow corn, right? And you share that with somebody, like, this is how you grow corn, and they actually do it. Or sharing of wisdom can be about how to take care of your hair, right? As African American female, like, this is the type of oil that can help your hair grow. That's wisdom. So, this is why this is the age of sharing, information age, sharing, because this is what's going to help us to have the social structure. When enough people have enough wisdom in different subjects and areas and can think for themselves, can grow their own food, who feel independent, that's when interdependence will come. And that's when people will begin to restructure their identity, their relationship, power. What is power? What is personal power? What is social power? What is government power? What is control? What is self-control? Right? What is social control? Right? And all of these kind of questions come from, a society and generations that are actually philosophical in nature, that are soulful in nature. And, as long as we are not nourished, and as long as we don't care for ourselves and don't feel belonging, we'll never really take it on to be soulful or philosophical, because we're constantly going to undervalue that. We're not going to take advantage of that. We're going to think, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough because of this, that, and the other. So I think, the real survival of the future, beyond just, surviving, is about a mind that is very soulful and philosophical, and a mind that's able to gather information and able to use that information to potentiate themselves further, and be able to basically initiate themselves. That's the kind of survival, because we can't just survive in just the traditional is just the robotic, thing. That's, we can't just survive in the reptilian brain, right? That's not the thing anymore, right? We're like, reptilian brain survival is not the thing. How we're going to survive is we have to initiate ourselves into higher levels of consciousness. And consciousness is simply about your ability to relate to your environment in ways that's going to give you more energy. In the way robotic consciousness, or reptilian brain type of survival, the desperate, it's very, very desperate, very greedy, very selfish, very irresponsible, these type of things. When there's no survival in that, right? All there is just constant insecurity from constant insecurity, and never getting a footing on your environment, never getting a hold on anything, just being either out of control or being absolutely obsessed with control, right? So the soulful and the philosophical is our way of connecting to elders, people who have went through the trenches before us, and have found a way on how to keep up with the intensity of their generation, and the intense change, and how vigorous and rough and straight up mean some of these initiations were for them. Just straight up mean things that they had to go through, but they went through it. They toughened up, and we look to those people for insight on how can we get through our generation, because though our generation is different from theirs, there's a similarity. We're going to have to go through some trenches. We're going to have to battle some demons. We're going to have to overcome the inner battle with the self-destruction, because on this world, especially right now, there is a broadcast of self-destruction, in the way that we feel out of control, we feel powerless because we don't have control, and therefore we're more susceptible to chaos, to fuck it, let me just do whatever the hell, you know what I'm saying, to violence, right? So during this time, we're really being tested, and that's why we need to move our bodies more than ever. Our mind, our spirit, we have to move our bodies, because when we're, sitting and sulking and what's going on, movement is a sign of health, and movement really makes us feel liberated. And more than now, we need to feel liberated, because out there where everything, feels it's up in the air, we're like, who's controlling everything? Nobody knows. Right? We feel the death energy, we feel all kinds of conspiracies and agendas, and all kinds of deception, and people are getting exposed, and there's indictment going on. It's like everything is happening at once, and it's like, Black Lives Matter, and then, you got people who are missing, and then sex trafficking is coming up, and it's just like, whoa, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Kids can't go to school. Single moms are having to pay for tutor services, and these single moms can barely even afford to get their kids in tutoring so they can keep up with their school. I mean, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you have to move your energy, even if it's just 10 minutes of just waking up and just playing Michael Jackson, Joy song, right? Or listening to a bell, or playing, the gong, or doing yoga, or going for a walk with your kid, a bike ride. These little things we may not be able to control our outer world, but we definitely, we can bring liberation into our inner world. You know what I'm saying? And that makes the difference. Even to people who are struggling with their physical body, like they may have, like MS, you know what I'm saying? And they have physical issues with their bodies, but it's all the difference when they find a simple thing of liberation. A simple thing. It doesn't have to be some big old thing. Just a simple thing is they do something every day that gives them this moment of liberation, this moment of, I have no control over my body. I don't know what's going on for today with my body. I hope it's a good day, but I don't know. But at least I am doing this here and now. At least I have a sense of say over this liberation. Speaking out loud, a mantra, dancing my spirit, even if it's just sitting here and just, drumming on my, my native drum, right? Or sculpting something, even it's just like a sculpting of a little owl or something like I like to do, right? So this makes all the difference than the common decision we can make, which is to blame, to be the victim, to attack ourselves, to destroy ourselves, to end up inviting in more pain, more suffering, and becoming bound to this earth. We don't want to be bound to this earth. We want to be liberated. And the only way that we're liberated from all of these wars and all of these attacks against women, these attacks against this and that and the other, is our spirit. And that's what the Native Americans understood. It's the spirit. So even though there's a spirit of the Native American, there's genocide. I mean, the Native Americans' presence is greatly been override by these European presence. But the spirit, you can still feel the spirit. You can even still feel the trauma in some geographic regions of immense war and immense death, right? But you can still feel the spirit. And when you connect with the spirit of the land, even if you're connected to a land that has much blood spilled. I'm from Virginia, like there's blood spill in many areas, like, war battlefields everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So the spirit, you can connect to the negative spirit, which is the ghost, the trauma, or you can connect to the spirit of liberation, which is, there's two sides to spirit. There's the spirit of the ghost, which is the cries, the screams of the people who died in blood split, and then there's the spirit of the chanting, the and that's like a song of like, keep it moving, don't stay in I was killed on the battlefield, I'm going to be a ghost and just walk around the field for eternity. It's like the spirit of the chanter is like, move forward, right? And that's what liberation is. And anyways, if you feel like you can't move forward physically, you definitely can move your spirit forward into deeper levels. You can travel through other dimensions, you know what I'm saying? Like there's so much you could do. If you can't do it physically, you definitely can do it spiritually. And travel into other dimensions to gain knowledge, so that when we can move physically and do things, right? You have gained some spiritual wisdom. It's not like you're just sitting here like a ghost walking around, in the spirit of pain, in the spirit of cries, the spirit of screams. And there's all kinds of goblins and goons and devils and all these sort of earthbound energies that are basically cries, and they're just wandering around just like at a bar scene, just like bored as hell, like what am I doing, you know what I'm saying? There's no movement, there's no energy, right? So the spirit gives you energy, the ghost does not give you energy. So you want to connect to the spirit, not the haunting, not the the death of you, right? The feeling of I'm gonna die, the death of you, that leads to this state of I didn't move my energy. You want to move forward. And the liberation, the spirit, is how we're able to move forward. Your body is your time-space machine. Your chakras is a time-space machine. You are a timekeeper. You are a timekeeper of the ages and the eras and astrology. It's all inside you. It's just a matter of fact of actually linking up to it, downloading it, and beginning to embody it through practice, right? And that is our way. When we're moving energy, we feel most happy, I will say that. When we're not moving energy, we feel quite miserable, right? And movement is a sign of health. So when we're not moving energy, we feel very, very bound, very much like a ghost, very stagnant, very like in the haunting, stuck in a memory, thinking about the past too long. But when we are moving energy spiritually, emotionally, physically, through the 10 bodies, through the subtle body, the pranic body, the neutral mind, positive mind, negative mind, we feel a lot more content because we know that we're moving forward. We know that we're not getting caught here, we're not getting bound here, we're not getting interlocked here with people, places, and things, and that we're actually, we're on a journey, we're on a voyage, right? Which is not just about physical, it is many, many things. We're on a voyage to gather wisdom and information. And as painful as these transformation can happen, it's worth it because it makes you feel good to wake up and feel transformed every single day of your life, then wake up and be like, the ghost, the haunting, the memory, the past, I'm blocked, so I'm not expressing myself, right? So, you know, that is the movement of energy, either through painting a picture, singing a song, listening to a song, going to a jazz club, and that moves your energies, your psyche, your spirit in such a way that makes you feel so much alive, and that makes you feel so complete and satisfied. But many times to move energy, you have to participate, you have to actually get involved, you actually have to move. And sometimes movement is not always initially easy. Sometimes when you're starting a new yoga class or starting a new meditation, that it's going to be hard, right? Some meditations, you hold your arms up for like 60 minutes. You're like, what the fuck? Like, it's not easy. But when you start to do it more and you start to get more movement in the body and start to pump more dynamic range and multi-dimensional energy through you, you'll start to find that your ability to take on new movement, it becomes easier and easier and easier, and then all of a sudden you can go deeper into it, and that's when you start to really feel the liveliness of it. But usually initially it's like starting, you haven't worked out a day in your life and then you're working out, like your resistance is gonna be like no, right? But your spirit is gonna be like yes, right? And some days we need breaks, right? And some days relaxing. Movement is not always about moving the body. Movement can also be about resting and just moving your letting the nadis just kind of be a little bit elusive and just kind of go way out into like the ethereal realms while you're just sleeping, and let that just transmission happen, right? Sometimes movement is taking a bath and you're crying in the bath, right? Because the water brings up emotions, tears. Sometimes movement is literally just sitting by a tree and closing your eyes and just projecting your third eye into the tree, right? Sometimes movement is just, I'm going to start a garden. Sometimes movement is, I'm going to read this book. You know what I'm saying? But you're being moved. Moved is to be soulful. To be moved is to feel soulful. To be moved is to gain philosophy, to feel wiser than you were before. Now I hate myself more. Not, toying around, excuses, moody, I'm not good enough, right? It's actually, I'm moved by this. Let me, voyage and adventure into this. Let me open my heart to this. Let me, ignite this passion. I love her sculpting. Let me see if I can sculpt. Oh my God, I'm sculpting something. A tree. I love this sculpture of a tree, right? You want to invite in as much dynamic range and multidimensional aspects of yourself as possible. You want to invite in 10 lifetimes into this lifetime. And that's how much movement you want. Because 10 lifetimes basically represents completion. 10 is completion, right? 10 lifetimes 10 karmas to deal with. That's a lot. You have 10 karmas, pain, traumas, all of that. You heal in that. So but you also invite in the 10 blessings. So you got the 10 karmas, which is going to be like, you're every day, it's like another karma coming at you. Every year, another karma coming at you. Like, damn, this is hard. This is a lot. But you get the 10 blessings, which gives you the 10 body activation, right? And when you get the 10 body activation, you get the creative ignition. You get the higher energy. You get the fuel to rock it out. You need fuel, a lot of fuel, like 10. I'll say just 10 gallons, 10 million gallons. I'll say, right? And you need that quote unquote 10 million gallons. That's a lot, right? 10,000 gallons to get where you want to go, to rocket into outer space, other dimensions, other realities of this earth, for your ancestors, for your karma, and for the future lives of you, and for people around you. So thank you, and I'll leave you guys with this.